Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. Greetings, family. Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is your brother on this Sunday morning in Florida. Yes. And I'm actually pre-taping this because I just want to maintain a little focus and make sure that I, deliver this basic message that I have for you this morning to give guidance and to respect your time as well as I respect my time. Today we're going to be speaking on the numerovational menus, the menu of life. Numerovational menu of life. And this is not going to be long because a menu of life can be long depending on how the person is living, what the person is going through, how long you live in this realm. So it's very, very interesting. And so we're going to touch on a few points in regards to what are the menus or the menu in numerovation or numerology, and how can you benefit from these things to make yourself or your family better. And like I like to say to people that it's always up to the person who decides to walk the path, because numbers run through all of our charts, just like astrology signs and run through our charts. All of us, all of them also, whether internally or externally. So I have my cup of tea today, and this is something special that you and your family members can learn from and be guided by. Just want to remind everyone, I'm not going to run through all of the sponsors. Just want to remind everyone that tonight we will be doing this live and direct. We will be speaking with, on the first time on my YouTube channel, a dear friend of mine named Muga. And online, she calls herself Muga Phoenix. She is a comedian and an actress of many dimensions. She's not limited at all. And I love this sister dearly. From the time we met through a mutual friend who is now deceased, Monteria Ivory. And she'll be on tonight at 7 p.m. March 7th, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube and on King Simon Presents. And more than likely, I'll probably have her up at the Numerovation Nation just to give her more shine. And I believe also on Twitter at King Simon Prod. So please tune in tonight and share, like, thumb up the video, show us some love. Okay? Okay, so let's get right into it because I'm not going to be up here long, but I must be strong, like Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad used to say. So let's talk about this real briefly because in a menu that most of us go to restaurants to observe before we purchase anything from the restaurant or the high-end restaurant or the low-end restaurant, there's always a menu that we look at. If you're going into a fast food restaurant, you see a menu and it has its breakfast, it has its lunch, it has its dinner menu. Some say entree they have brunch, they have specials, they have all you can eat. They have sides and main courses and combos. So a menu comes with a lot of different things. When I did the numbers to the word menu, I found in my study, because my spirit, as I said on one of my live feeds on Instagram, my spirit said, go and research the word menu. And in the Pythagorean system, the word menu adds up to the number 17, which equals a number 8. In the Chaldean system of numerology, the word menu adds up to a number 20, which equals the number 2. Shout out to my Ministry of Numerovation, my private group on Facebook, because they're getting this first in actuality. They're getting this first. They get to see this first. And it's actually streaming on my private group. Those who want to be a part of that private group that usually gets this Numerovation first, depending on how I'm feeling. I don't have that many people in the group, but it is a group per se that it's here to give guidance. I have invited numerous people to it, but it's only really 17 people in the group. And I'd like to say that group on Facebook is building slowly but surely. Okay. So moving on, I said the word menu in the Pythagorean system adds up to the number 17, which is an 8, and adds up to a number 20, which is a 2 in the Chaldean system. What is interesting about that is those are two particular systems that deal in the health field, deals with health. As you've seen me before, even numbers, except the number 9, are major health numbers, according to my study and studying across the board in different fields of numerology. So if you go to my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, I speak about the numbers and health and their connection to health, name, and words. And in my book, I say on page 62, in this particular book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. The number 2 can suffer from all types of stomach and digestive issues. They must be careful of ptomaine poison, gastric issues, bowel problems, and internal growth of all kinds. Get regular checkups, drink plenty of water. That's what I say in my particular book. Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. So the word menu in the Chaldean system adds up to the 20, which is the number 2. And of course, when you have 20, that 0 adds extremities. It could be extreme stomach issues, extreme digestive issues, extreme gastric issues. It could be extreme bowel problems, extreme internal growth when that 0 pops up. Then In the Pythagorean system, which is a much younger system that is used commonly with the Europeans and in the Western world, Pythagoras, it adds up to a number 17, which is a 1. Which is an 8, pardon me. And in my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, it says 8 can suffer from headaches, blood disorder, rheumatism, liver, bowels, intestines, and excretory issues. Also, 8 concerns with the knees and teeth and bones can be problematic. And it says continuous, it says in my book, they should stay clear away from animal meat. That means those that are connected to the number 8, as much as possible, and be careful of wrong medications and wrong prescriptions, and keep away from lonely thoughts, because lonely thoughts can bring about depression also. And that can lead to bad eating habits and all of that. So the word menu has a lot to do with the internal health, the intestinal health, and the stomach health. So that's why when you are eating in certain restaurants, you have to be very mindful, because even the vibration of the word menu leads to either the higher vibration of that 8 frequency as far as health concerns, or the lower vibration of that 8 frequency as far as health concerns, and also the number 2 or the 20. Now, like I said, in Pythagoras system, it adds up to a 17 first, then it turns into the 8 when 1 plus 7 equals the 8. So when we look at the 1, again, so the primary numbers that's playing a factor in this, in this digestive, in this menu thing, is 1, 7, 8, and 2, 0, 2. So 1, which is quite interesting, because in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to the number 17, that 1 and 7 are significant. And 1, if you read my book, again, go into this particular book or this particular book, children's health is important. But I'm looking at this book right now, and it says number 1 can have heart issues like irregular circulation, palpitation, high blood pressure. They can also suffer from eye problems and astigmatism. So if that's the case, what you eat on your menu and what you choose on your menu can also cause these type of issues, the heart issues, the high blood pressure, and the eye problems due to what you've accumulated over time that created this this pathogen, so to speak, as far as in health is concerned. And then the number 7 in the 17 in the Pythagorean system, again, the word menu adds up to 17. And the number 7 is significant because 7 says, in my book, I say, can suffer from too much worrying and being annoyed. And let's deal with that. Too much worry and being annoyed. So so sevens, if the 7 energy is in menu, some people actually eat because of being worried, being annoyed. And then when I go on to say, I say they can also go through mental frustration and imagining the worst. So that number 7 in the 17th is significant because people that continue to eat certain food, and certain foods are considered triggers for either love loss or love gain, or eating certain sweets or Dr. Africa broke that down before in his book. Go read African Holistic Health. He breaks down about what different emotions are connected to. So if 7 is in the word 17 from a numerical perspective, and 7 is the number that reflects mental frustration and imagining the worst, skin and minor stomach problems can be an issue also. pimples, boils, and rash can also develop if you eat anything that disagree with your digestive system. Again, what you intake from a menu at any restaurant, you got to be very mindful, because some people are at restaurants morning, noon, and night, overindulging, over accumulating these different things. And you have to be a little bit more mindful when you're eating food at certain restaurants. And then it adds up to the number 8, that's 17. And where it gets into can suffer from headaches, blood disorder, rheumatism, liver, bowels. All of these things are caused by sometimes our eating habits, or the majority of the time our eating habits. That's why a young man once said that food has become a weapon of mass destruction. And it has. They've used it over the years from generation to generation. That's why a lot of our family members have developed this. So dealing with the menu of life as far as health, numerology and astrology and all these different modalities can also help you with the mathematics or the astrologics of your health, to give you guidance so you can be aware of what needs to be done and how things should be done in your health moving forward. So let's go to, and this is going to be a basic. This is not going to be long. Like I said, I'm not going to go over an hour in this because this is going to be taught more in my class, my course, and that's called Holistic Numerovation course. Learn the BAT method and how to apply your mathematics from a basic level. The BAT is an acronym that means beyond, around, tracking, or trajectory of the number, or hearing the number. And yes, you can see beyond because you can look at the numbers and you could read in numerology per se, you can actually look at years and months to come to what to be aware or alerted of if you didn't do the necessary work you had to do prior to. So numerology and astrology and all these great modalities can be a preventative manner, can be used as something as prevention. It's just like if you know Aries rule the head, then if that's the case, then you got to be very mindful of things that, as an Aries, you got to be very mindful of things that happens around the head, and Taurus the throat and vice versa and going on. In numerology, 1 is considered one of the head numbers, or dealing with things that's associated with the head, like the eyes and those type of parts of your body. So again, my class, I will be going into a lot of that. And if you do want to be a part of the class, there's an email right here on the flyer here, the Numerovator at Gmail. The Numerovator at Gmail, or text me at 347-496-1022. If you live outside of the United States, please text via WhatsApp. And I think majority of this course is going to be pre-taped. And then I'll probably have a Q&A, a private Q&A at the end of the class after everybody's taken the class and do what they had to do. And whatever exams I might give you, or whatever tests that I might give you, it's going to be probably 9 to 10 video courses. And then we'll do what we have to do to keep it moving. But I will give you that basic level of understanding beyond, around, tracking, and hearing the numbers from a method that I am creating. Every day I'm creating this thing, But I do say, if you do want to learn the basics of astronumerology, please attend one of my teachers' classes at www.lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. He has 2 classes up there going through his site into Udemy. But if you go through his site, you get the benefits of the discounts. So make sure you go through his site. I took one. I went on there and watched the class until, and the basics of the class, especially the beginner's class, and then the intermediate class is also very good. So Make sure you hit up Lloyd at that. Okay. So getting back into our discussion, family, let's go to a particular menu. Let's deal with, let me see if I should deal with this menu first. Okay, let's deal with that menu real quick. Because like I said, this is just basic stuff. Real quick. Now, numerovational menu is health, ... wealth, ... relationship, ... I only have the dots behind it because there's much more in regards to wealth, health, and relationships. Because relationship could be relationship with your child, relationship with your mom, relationship with your dad, relationship with this. Wealth can be multiple streams of wealth. Wealth in regards of what kind of gathering you've gathered over the year, generational wealth. Health can be multiple times of different forms of health that comes through your life, or sufferings of health, or good health, or going through this because you've learned from that person why your health is. And then next part of this menu is gifts, skills, and talents. And I got the ... behind there too, because that many gifts, all of us, when I look at a numerical chart or a numeral scope through my numerovation sessions, I see the many gifts you have and the many skills and talents that you may have if you choose to tap into them. And it could be very simple. It doesn't have to be something that that you feel that you've watched over years and all that kind of stuff on television that you feel it, because that gift could be it, but there could be multiple gifts. Maybe the gift of sharing, the gift of healing, the gift of teaching, the gift of being a leader, the gift of being whatever. So those gifts, skills, and talents can also be shown, not just in the name. I know many numerologists look at the gifts through the name, but I'm a person in my Numerovation for Mental Stability book. I say, I'm not caught up on labels, I'm not just caught up on names and things. Wherever the number shows up and it's dominant throughout your chart, then that is one of the dominant gifts you can have that's connected to that number, or the dominant skills that you have that is connected to that number, or the dominant talents that you have that is connected to that number, whether you choose to use it in this lifetime or not. Some are complacent, and I'm going to go to the bottom of that when I talk it. And then the other part of this menu is recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses. Some of us have to really go within and put down on paper what are our strengths and our weaknesses from the time we learned about ourselves, from the time we were young to now. What was some of the things that said that people in your family or friends around you say you did good, or recognize that you did good, whether it was through school, whether it was a job, whether it was whatever. And then you got to recognize your weaknesses so you can at least manage them. Because weaknesses are not going away. Some of the most talented people you see out there had a weakness. From the Magic Johnson to the Michael Jordans to the Layla Ali to all of the great ones. I just seen Frida, Sister Frida, on one of the best kickboxing females, born on July 8th. Everybody have their weaknesses and their strengths. Floyd Mayweather has his weakness and strength. Nobody, he won 50 times and have never lost. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Some they keep the weakness. Most of them have learned to manage their weaknesses. Like Michael Jordan, great basketball, but he loved to gamble extensively. Everything was about that gamble sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at those things, even Les Brown would say, hey, one time I should have been doing this years ago. He said he should have been doing motivational speaking years ago. But because of his procrastination and not feeling that he was worthy. So everybody got the strengths and weaknesses. Then the last part of this menu, and like I said, there's many more, because as far as numerical system, you could go challenge it, all kinds of stuff you can do. There's a lot you can do. I mean, that's why I study, because I'm a constant student learning to master. I'm a constant. People like to call me master numerologist, and I don't even like to claim that. You know, you don't never see me put that on my flyer unless it was somebody that sent me a flyer because I'm appearing on one of their events or something. They'll put master numerologist. I don't like, because, you know, something about master catches people's eyes and all that. I guess it's because of the master slave syndrome we've had over the years. But I am very happy as being a student and keeping my glass half full with a hole at the bottom of the glass, because at least the water keep on coming and I can keep on filling. You know what I'm saying? So I like to keep on filling my glass. Like I tell people, I've carried 30 books or more with me, and what I don't need, I'll send back to my library. Send back to my library that will eventually be my children's own and my grandchildren. You know, so strengths and weakness are very important to recognize. So like the great A.R. Bernard from CCC once said, strengthen your strengths and manage your weaknesses, because we all have them. We have the duality all the time. Constructive. Now, the next part of it is about the path that I talk about. The 4 different paths that I've mentioned in my Numerovation for Mental Stability book. Constructive path, obstructive path, destructive path, and complacency path, which some of us go through these type of things in our life. Every one of them we go through. Some of us have been constructive in certain facets of our life. Some of us have been very obstructive, and some of us have been very destructive, and some of us have been very complacent or comfortable at certain parts of our life when we didn't feel like doing nothing, we died or whatever. So these different 4 paths that I've mentioned in my book is very important, because these paths can make and break a person. Constructive, being obstructive to their own constructive abilities, and then leading down to more destructive path where it not only destroys you, it destroys others around you, because we're all energetically connected. Or just being complacent or comfortable. Like the old saying, comfort is an enemy of progress. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Can you imagine you in your mother's womb maintaining that comfort and don't want to come out, but still growing at the same time? You don't want to come out your mother's womb, you'll kill your mother, and more than likely kill yourself. Comfort can be a killer. I've seen people kill their own energy on the streets of New York because they maintain comfortability, if that's a word, where homeless people just want to stay right there, day after day, year after year, doing the same thing, or just laying there doing nothing. That's somebody who's comfortable. Even in the rural areas of the world, you don't see homeless people in the rural areas, well, because their whole home is that grassland, that forest, or what some people might say jungles and all that kind of stuff. That forest land is their home. So they are comfortable. They're constantly working. In certain Asian countries, you find people at the side of a mountain taking their children, and that side of the mountain looks scary. And like, if we're not used or wasn't raised to be able to carry or walk a donkey up the side of a mountain to get to where you had to go and come back and do the same trip and survive, most of us that are Americanized or live in the Western world would not even deal with that. I remember one time in Jamaica, I was young, and we was riding on the bus going to country. It was going to a country in the countryside in Jamaica. And if y'all know anything about the Jamaican drivers, them Jamaican drivers are wild. But when they're on that side of that mountain, and there's no fence or no gate on that side of the mountain, you know, you just dead it. You and the mountain, off the mountain cliff. You and the mountain cliff in a bus moving at 30 to 40 miles per hour. And he's cutting those curves too, because they're going up the mountain. So we're going in a round curve to get to where we have to go to this country. So it's a serious thing, man. And I'm saying that because, you know, that's showing you how the ways of life is if you're comfortable and not willing to take chances you won't get to where you got to go in your destination. That's what I'm basically saying. So constructive path, obstructive path, destructive path, and complacent path is what I have found in my book, in my time. And of course, I know there's more from other people's perspective. I don't disregard anybody's perspective. This is just from what I have studied over the years. All right. So again, this is the numerovational menu of life. And I want all of us to pay attention that, about every number that I'm about to show you, more than likely runs through your life. Especially the calendar months. We all go through this, but even if any one of y'all are born on any one of these days, each one of these numbers have touched your life at some point in time. Each one of these numbers, even when you deal with the counting system, each one of these numbers have touched your life. And it may have came back around or cycled back, but each one of these numbers have touched your life, or you've had to deal with that energy connected to those numbers at some point of your life. Definitely your calendar dates, because all of us are going through the calendar right now, whether it's the Gregorian calendar, Ethiopian calendar, whatever. The numbers are still very significant vibration to each day. That's why sometimes you'll see me come and do a numerovational flyby, and then I'll tell you the significance of that universal day, where when you add the month, the day, and the year, it becomes a universal day. But that personal day would be the 1 through 31 if it's on the 1st or the 3rd. Like today is the 7th. So this is a very good teaching day, a spiritual enlightening day, a reflective day. So number 7 is that particular number. So let's go to this before I close out, because I am going to close out. I don't want to go too far. I want to make sure, because our attention span is real limited. So again, I hope everybody got this. The menu, the numerovational menu, the first one, health, wealth, relationship, first set, gifts, skills, talents, strengths, weaknesses, constructive path, obstructive path, destructive path, and complacency path. I will be teaching more of it heavy in my class. Okay, so make sure you got that email if you want to be a part of the class. Yes, it will cost. Let's not front here. It will cost. And especially if I'm doing a package of all, of course, it would be a package deal if you want to buy all 9 classes. The 10th class will more than likely be a live Q&A session based on the class that you learned. All right, so take that email down, the numerovator@gmail, because that particular email is directed to only that class. The numerovator@gmail.com. And of course, you can text me anytime you want at 347-496-1022. Of course, you see it on this flyer. That's why I'm keeping it up a little. But if you live outside of the United States and you want to receive that 9-pack class, that 9-course class, it's like a 9-course meal, you would have to email me and I'll tell you the price. And if you're ready, you go and buy it, and you'll have access to it for the rest of your life. You'll have access to it to study continually. All right. It's up to you. One price, get all access, because I'll be probably keeping it on YouTube, and definitely keeping it up on my Patreon page. More than likely, it's either YouTube or Patreon. I'm going to keep it up on, where you can actually, those who paid for it will automatically be admitted to the YouTube channel, and advised not to share. But Patreon, you would have to pay to get on Patreon to keep on. Just in case YouTube go down, I can keep Patreon up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go to this basic menu right here. Let me go to this basic menu right here. Now, numerovational menu, from 0 all the way to the master numbers, the master number potentials, and of course the quote unquote angel numbers, and and I'm going to breeze through this because I'm not going to stay here too long. But if you're born under any of these numbers or connected to any of these numbers that have a meaning to them, and I found many people that have been connected to those numbers, whether not not only be in their birthday, but it can be connected to the name. I've done sessions where 88 and 77 and 66 and 99 and 55 and 44 have showed up in the namesake. And then, of course, you may reach those ages of 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. And even the age that you have cycled around the sun that you have come upon means something. Me being 54 means something in the study and science of numerology, but it's a thing that gives you direction, to help you to navigate in your 54th. It has helped me to navigate in my 54th year, where the 5 is saying adapt, being versatile in what I do and how I do things. And then the 4 is still saying maintain your discipline and structure and organize. And the 9 is telling me to complete what I want, finish what I say. So when you look at all these numbers, 0's on the top because all numbers come out of the 0, the womb, that high potential, the infinite potential. And of course, I got ... behind all of them because there's more to it. I've just given you one words right now. So, and when you go towards the master numbers, you see 2 words because we put master intuitive for 11, master builder for 22, master healer and teacher. But I wanted to put that one word there because that's very significant. And of course, 1 representing leadership, 2 representing union, 3 representing expression, 4 representing foundation, 5 representing freedom, 6 representing balance, 7 representing meditation, 8 representing executive, 9 representing completion, master number 11 again, master intuitive, 22 master builder, 33 master healer, and 44, 40, 55, and all of those has a meaning also. Where in certain forms of numerology, if you look it up, they call 44 the master balancer sometimes, or the 44 is the master balancer, the dedicated worker in certain forms of, and a solid foundation of the creative law or the creator's law. That's what they say in certain forms of numerology. 55 would be known as the master adventurer, the master pioneer. You know what I'm saying? The master productivity and the master expansion on a certain level. Understanding and living without no fear. That's that 55 energy. The 66 energy are the people who have the master of service, master of love, master of a caring heart, master of responsibility. And then when you deal with 77, that's the master wise one, the master researcher, the master achiever of trust and faith within themselves in order to shine before others. And then 88 is known as the master balancer also, but it's also the one that it brings things to light, brings things to a executive heights, or it helps to take people to another level, especially because 8 is also one of the major ancestral numbers that you have to pay attention to. And then you have the master number 99. 99 is that master number of being a great loving person on one aspect with unconditional love and understanding that things they have to always operate on a higher and highest level. So you can have people that's born under these numbers too. Like somebody can be born on April the 4th. That's a master number. May the 5th. That's a master number combination. Of course, June the 6th, a master number combination. July the 7th, another master number combination. August the 8th, another master number combination, or September the 9th, another master number combination. 10-10, October the 10th, master number combination. 11-11, master number, that's November the 11th, another master number combination. And of course, 1212, another master number combination, which signifies that person have the ability to master whatever they put their mind to. But like I always say, and people that can testify, that when I do a reading or like I said, I don't like saying readings, consultation or advise people, always let them know with great power. Those master numbers come with great power. With great power comes great responsibility. So on the other side, all of those numbers can become criminals. Every one of the numbers that you see in front of you can become criminals on the most lowest and negative sides of their mathematical frequency. Then you have the angel numbers, 11, 111, 222, the synchronicity and angel numbers, 1, 11, 11, 44, 44, and more. And those you can Google up, but I have a different interpretation because I see them differently on different angles. I look at the flow lines. And that's what I'm going to teach in my class, flow lines, all that kind of stuff. Because the flow lines is the existing lines that you see that make the number up, that represent something, that represents female or male dominance in that number, where although 4 can be known as a feminine number in one aspect of numerology, because of the constant lines in the number 4, there's a line that makes the 4 up. The line represents the linear male energy. The line represents that male energy. And although 3 can be a feminine number in one aspect in a male number, 3 is known as a male number in certain aspects of numerology. But that 3, the curvatures of the 3, represents the curvatures of the feminine energy in another form of numerology. See, that's why when you study all of them and not limit yourself, because there's no limitation, you get it all. You get to see a whole picture. And that's the premise of how I like to teach and learn and guide people and other participants to understand. Open your mind and the rest will follow. So going into the master number potential, I think I'm the only one, or probably other people might talk about, but I'm the only one that coined those numbers, 10, 20, 30. Anything with a 0 attached to it, master number potentials, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Why? Because anything that 0 follows adds infinite potential that would be equivalent to master numbers. Hey, I'm just keeping it simple. I'm using intuitive common sense. If it's considered an infinite number, the 0, infinite potential, infinite quality. I mean, let me go to a book that I have right near me, which speak about the 0. What does it say about this book? And this book is an old 1990 book. What does it say about the 0? Real quick. I don't want to, because like I said, I'm not going to be up here for too long. What does it say about the 0? This particular book, because you won't find a 0 in your chart unless you're subtracting or doing the challenge breakdown. Okay, let me go to what this lady, Ruth Dreher, says about the number 0 in her book. And you go in my book, I break it down too in Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, and Numerovation for Mental Stability. But she says in her book, and her book is called Numerology, the Language of Life, she says 0 symbolizes the whole world. When added to a digit, 0 makes it more mature, signifies that the number has been around the whole world. I would say the universe, because 0, that oblong shape, is like a universal shape of curvatures all around. So that's a continual movement or a spiraling move. And return to work on, and then she says, after she says the whole world, and I just added what I just added, and return to work on that quality from a higher perspective. It's possible to have 0 on one of the planes of expression, and frequently a 0 challenge appears. The 0 challenge can be a time of considerable growth and somehow offers the choice of dealing with all of the challenges or none of them. That's one thing about zero, because it could go either way with its vibration, whether you can go counterclockwise or clockwise. You could either deal with all your challenges or run from them or don't deal with them at all. And then it says, while I have known people who chose none and took 9 years off and worked only with their other numbers, most people these days are too busy maturing to have the luxury of 9 years of rest. So in turn, into a crash course. So it turns into a crash course in humanitarian learning all at once. The challenges others get to experience one at a time. I've been in a zero challenge for 11 years. This is what she's saying. She's been in a zero challenge for 11 years and am almost accustomed to the fact that just as one area gets covered, another bursts, it seems. So she goes on to speak about the zero from her perspective, and then and the importance of that zero again is the only reason I'm speaking about the zero so strongly is because when zero appears in any part of our charts, whether you're born on the 10th, 20th, and 30th, that symbol is a strong symbol that you have to pay close attention to and watch out for its extremities, extremely positive or extremely negative. I can mention some names that have gone through some extreme positive and some extreme negative just because of that connection to the zero. And if you look up people born in under that zero, you check it out and look up people born under the 10th, the 20th, and the 30th of their life in the conscious community or so-called conscious community or in celebrity status. Look at people connected to that zero and you'll see a lot. So, brothers and sisters, I want to thank each and every one of you, children, whoever's tuning in on whatever part of the world you're at. Enough respect to you. I'm going to close this out before the hour comes into play. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and locking in. And I just want to remind everybody tonight, we have our dear friend, good friend of mine's, Muga, at 7 p.m. tonight, March the 7th. So this is going to be the comedian and actress of many dimensions. Sister's been featured in The Purge, the first Purge. She's been featured in Precious. She's been featured in Orange is the New Black, making reoccurring appearances in those movies and very other. We're going to talk about all of that because her and I go back over 20-something years. So she's a friend of mine. Also, I want to send a condolences to their brother, Bunny Wailer, Neville Livingston, good brother. When I met him, worked with him, I was an MC at one of his shows. And he's definitely been one of my inspiration because he was a part of the Wailers, the original Wailers and the Wailing Wailers with Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and him, Bunny Wailer. And he transitioned before his critical cycle. That's why I tell people to pay attention to those elders in their critical cycle. Pay attention to your own stuff within the critical, because the critical cycle is critical. It's called to me, it's called a critical cleansing cycle. In Rosicrucian numerology, which I also talk about in the book, it's called a critical cycle, but I call it a critical cleansing cycle before your actual birthday, because your birthday represents your new beginning year, your next, what you're supposed to. That's why you need to cleanse out and remove things before your birthday comes, so you could be open to receive what comes to you. And I've said that in many sessions to people. So once again, rest in peace, rest in power to my dear brother, Bunny Livingston, Bunny Wailer himself, one of the original Wailers that was with Bob and Peter Tosh. He's been a great inspiration. And a lot of you don't know, he wrote the song Electric Boogie that y'all are all doing the electric slide to. Every time, every marriage, every celebration, every time that electric slide comes on, or that electric boogie with Marcia Griffith as the singer, Bunny Wailer was the writer. You can Google it up. It's out there. His name is Neville Livingston. He wrote it, and Sister Marcia Griffith applied it through her voice. And it's been a success for these many years. I think it was written in the 80s, and then it just was been blown up since then. So rest in peace, rest in power, Brother Bunny Weller. Of course, Women's History Month continues. If y'all didn't see Sister Shahrazad, y'all better go back and tune in to Sister Shahrazad dropping that wisdom. All right? So that's what it is. And also look out for these beautiful sisters that are coming up. Of course, after Mugga, we have the hypnotherapist, Kendall Cobbs. Then, like I said, I may do a panel depending on my travels on March the 10th, or may do something else, a panel of empresses. Ordinite creator and physicist Audrey Rumbers is coming up March the 17th. Acupuncturist and educator Dr. MJ is coming up March the 21st. Below Women's History Month signature, you see spiritual teacher A Genesis coming up on March the 24th. MJ is March the 21st. A Genesis is March the 24th. Naturopath and teacher Dr. Nalani Valentine is going to be closing out the month of March on the 31st, but March the 28th, we got a special invited celebrity doctor to be announced. I want to make sure he is available, and it's a male, but he teaches so much on entrepreneurship for women and children. I want to bring him on because he's going to break the mold for a lot of entrepreneurship and all that stuff. So only on King Simon Presents on YouTube, and please subscribe to King Simon Presents on YouTube and on the Numerovation Nation. Please do subscribe to that. Please like and thumb up the video. Please like, thumb up, and share the video. Please like, thumb up, and share the video when y'all get a chance. And of course, you can show me some Cash App love or PayPal love. It's right there on the bottom. Cash App love or PayPal love. You're more than welcome to do so. Okay. And I appreciate all of you. Of course, here's the Cash App right there if you want to do the Cash App and all of that. So let me get ready to get on out of here. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and being a part of this. Of course, I want to big up some more of the sponsors. Of course, my daughter and her cups. Big up to her. Enough respect to her. If you want to get her cups, please go to Teesprings. That's right, teesprings.com/Yashira's Pink Art exclusive. Make sure you show her some love. And of course, all my books are available. Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numbers are simple. Children's health is important. And no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. My partner in Vive, this is her product, Woman Adornments. Give her some support and love. And of course, if you want to contact her via email, this is the way you can contact her until she get her phone. This is her stuff right here for spiritual upliftment and guidance. Contact her via email, Empress Aisha Amore at Gmail, and spread love via her Cash App, Empress Amore. And then, of course, her PayPal is Aisha McBride. All right, so show her some love, and let's continue to move on with some more of the advertisers. That's Janelle Lewis, licensed real estate salesperson and consultant. Give her a call if you want to be consulted about certain things in buying property, 347-496-1022. Lloyd Strayhorn, like I've been saying, go to his class, learn his class, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Again, if you want to come to my class, please sign up via the email you see on there, the numerovator@gmail. I won't teach that class until I get back in New York. Also, Pedalwise, very good products you can get from Pedalwise, especially for women's need. If you're going through the fibroid issue, fibroid problems, you want to get it expelled, this is the sister to deal with. Boom, here it is. Make sure you get that coupon code. That coupon code, you can only use that coupon code at www.pedalwise.com. If there's things on sale, you cannot use the coupon code for the sales. You can only use for the stuff that are not being on sale at this time. So enough respect to that. And this one here. For Numerovation consultation, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Again, please text 347-496-1022 via WhatsApp If you live outside of the United States of America, that means if you live in Canada, the Caribbean, whether you live in England or Africa, contact me through there. And if you want to advertise, that's the best number to text me via email, via WhatsApp, or any other, or the regular means. Okay, so let me get this out of the way and let's get on out of here. It is now 1 hour. I've been here. That's it. Of course, content disclaimer: views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters or its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. I'm going to go close out with our brother Dr. Blair's prayer. As usual, I don't care what I'm doing. Got to close out with the prayer because this prayer has been helping me through my stuff also. So and maintaining my mental strength and everything. So thank you, Dr. Blair. He was born on the 13th, so I'm not surprised that it would help many of you out there. Of course, and if you want to continue to support Dr. Blair's legacy, please go to his official website at www.themetacenter2.com. That's www.themetacenter2.com for his books, ELF protectors, products, and much more. All right, let's do this prayer. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my heart, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Let me say that last part again. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Ashe to the great Dr. Blair. Ashe to all of your ancestors, all of our ancestors, all of the creative force that work within and outside of us. Thank you, all of you, for joining me for this particular presentation, the Numerovational Menu of Life. Just giving you the basics so you can be ready for the classes when it's time. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace.